This lecture is about resume, how to write a resume and what is a resume. This is a second semester ADP IT communication skills is the subject. The first question that arises is what is a resume? Simply put, a resume is a 1 to 2 page document that sums up a job seeker's qualifications for the jobs they are interested in. When you go to a company to get a job there, you first have to apply there, put an application there. And along with the application, you have to attach a copy of a resume. You have to tell them your qualifications, whether you're qualified enough to apply for that job or not, is judged through your resume. Whatever your academic grades have been, you put all that in a resume. Any special skills that you have which could help you in your job that you're interested in, you you write all of that in a resume and forward that to a company. More than just a formal job application, a resume is a marketing tool that job seekers use to communicate their value to employers. So it's a marketing tool. It's a paper that you're using to sell yourself. You're using it to sell your qualifications. Tell the company that you want to get a job in what your qualifications are, what your achievements are, why they should hire you for the job that you are seeking. So your value is estimated based on your resume. Next question is what goes into a resume? What do you have to write in a resume? As mentioned in the previous slide, it has to be a brief and concise document of 1 to 2 maximum pages, and in that you have to summarize all your important information. A resume summarizes the most important information an employer needs to know when they consider a new hire. The job seeker's relevant qualifications, training, and work history are listed under easily understood resume headings such as summary of qualifications, professional experience, or education. So all the important information, all the important aspects about you that your employer, that the company where you are looking for a job needs to know, all of that is put into a document form. And relevant headings are made in the resume, and you put everything related to that heading under it. For example, you will make a summary of qualifications headings, and under that you will put all your academic grades and achievements. For example, if you're a position holder, you will mention that as well, and whatever your grades have been in matric, in your pre-medical or pre-engineering, you put all of that information under the heading of qualifications or education. And then if you have done a job in some other company previously, if you have any sort of job experience, you mention that under the heading of professional experience. So these are easily understood because they are placed under specific relevant headings. Here is a sort of a rough guide. A typical resume will include the following. Whatever information is found typically in a resume, it includes contact information. First of all, job seeker's name, address, phone numbers, and email. Your name and address and phone number and email. These are your contact information. How you can be contacted and how the employer can get in touch with you. You have to mention them first of all in the very start of the resume. Next, objective or summary of qualifications. Relevant and impressive qualifications for the desired position presented at the top of the page directly under the contact information. So if you are, for example, a position holder, or you have good grades in a particular stage of your academics, you mention that directly under your contact information, something that will immediately grab the attention of whoever is reading your resume. Impressive qualifications are mentioned directly underneath the contact information. Work history, if you have previous experience of any job, you mention that under the heading of work history. Present and or past employment, if you're also currently doing a job, or if you have done a job in your past, you mention that under work history, and you have to include dates in companies where you were doing the jobs or are doing the jobs. job title and relevant skills and accomplishments. Whatever your accomplishments in your previous or current job have been, you also mention those, and your title as well. At what position were you employed in the company? And next, education, highest level of education completed. For example, if you're a bachelor's, you mention that. If you are a master's, you mention that. If you are a postgraduate student, you mention that. So highest level of education completed is mentioned under the heading of education. If appropriate for your field or job, it can also indicate topics under such headings as achievements, licenses, computer skills, professional affiliations, and related coursework. So if it is related to the job that you are seeking, you can mention your experiences or your extra skills. For example, if you are a competent computer user, or if you are fluent in a language, or if you know typewriting or skills like those, you can mention them under the headings of achievements. Next up is who needs a resume. When is a resume required? You will need to submit a resume if you're applying for a job with an organization that doesn't rely solely on standard handwritten application forms. Companies that require resumes will say so in their job postings, and those that don't will ask you to fill out an application. But it's also a good idea to have a typed resume to submit with the application form, especially if your handwriting can be difficult to read. So it depends on the type of company you are applying to for a job. Some companies ask in their advertisements to submit a resume along with the application, or just submit the resume. Some companies do not ask for a resume. Instead, when you go to the company personally, they hand you an application in which all of these details you have to mention: your name, your contact information, your qualifications, your skills, everything. Some companies give you an application form where you have to fill this information out, and some companies ask for a resume instead. But it's better if you keep your resume, a typed resume, with you at the time of going to a company, and you can attach that with the application form in case your handwriting is not good enough to be read, or if your handwriting is unclear, they can refer to your resume to find out the relevant information. What's the purpose of a resume? The popular belief is that resumes land jobs, that if you have a good resume, you can definitely get a job. Not true. This is something people have assumed for themselves, but it's not true. It's not necessary that someone will be impressed by your resume and give you the job. The resume's sole purpose is to land you an interview. If employers like what they see in your resume, they'll contact you to schedule an interview. So if your resume is good enough, you will be called for an interview. You don't directly get a job based on your resume. During the interview, they will evaluate how well your skills match the job requirements and how well your personality fits with their team. So after submitting a good resume, you have to prepare for an interview. And in the interview, they will see whether your qualifications and your skills are good for the position that you have applied for, and they're going to see whether your personality matches with their team. Types of resumes. Finally, we'll discuss the types of resumes. Many kinds of resume templates are available, but the top three formats are: templates means that there are some examples available of writing a resume. For example, if you open Word, there is already a template there for making a resume. So you can open that, add your information in it, and then print it out. So the top three formats are chronological, functional, and combination, or which is also called hybrid. Chronological is a kind of resume in which the work history is listed in reverse chronological order. Most recent position first and oldest position last. This traditional type of resume focuses on titles and dates. So this is based on your work experience. If you have had multiple jobs before the one that you're applying for, you're going to mention all of those in the reverse order. Not going to mention the first job you ever had in the start, you're going to mention the last job that you have had or are still employed in. You're going to mention that first and go in the reverse order, and then the job that you had for the first time, you mention that in the last. So this is reverse chronological order. And this traditional type of resume focuses on titles, exactly what was your position in the companies that you worked in, and the dates as well when you were working in those companies. Second type is functional. This less common format focuses on skills and accomplishments rather than dates and titles. It divides your qualifications into functional categories such as administrative, marketing, or project management. So functional resumes focus on your accomplishments and skills, and instead of mentioning all the jobs that you have held previously in a chronological order, you mention those jobs in different categories such as administrative, marketing, project management. You will mention all the jobs that you've held in administration under the heading of administrative, all the jobs that you have had that dealt with marketing, you're going to mention those under the heading of marketing, and if you have ever had a job that dealt with project management, you're going to mention that in a separate category of project management. The third type of resume is combination or hybrid. Hybrid also means combination, featuring a mix of elements from both of the above resume types. This format is the most versatile for individual scenarios. Many feel this format gives hiring managers the best of both worlds. So it mixes the two things. It also mixes the chronological format and the functional format. It lists all the achievements, all the jobs that you've held according to the chronological as well as according to the functional categories. So this is a versatile format and it will help. It is considered best for people who are applying for a post of manager. So this is all for the topic of resume.